Hey guys, Cody Hoffine here with the Real Estate Freedom Formula. Welcome to another video here on this channel. I'm super excited that you guys are here because in this video, guys, we're going to be breaking down a live call. So if you've never made a call before and you're like, oh man, I'm nervous, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to have one of the guys on my team, his name's Selver, complete rock star, one of my favorites, just an amazing acquisition manager. He's the one that goes on the appointments, kind of gets on the phone calls, talks to the leads. We're going to break down a call right now live. You're going to hear everything, and then I'm going to kind of add my little 2 cents to it and break down this live call so that you guys ultimately have the confidence to move forward and do it yourself. Now, while you're here, I want you to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so it alerts you when we put fresh new content out there. But let's get right to this call. All right, guys, now it's crucial to have some background behind this. This call it came from a cold call, so I want you to hear where the lead source came from. This is one of our cold callers. He talked to an individual. It was kind of one of those, it's not a hot lead, but he did talk that he's willing to sell his home, but it wasn't like this ton of motivation. So with those leads, though, we do turn over to our acquisition manager so they can do some due diligence and follow up with them, and that's the case with this lead. So our cold caller called this list. This came from bankruptcy, and what he did is now Selver is going to be reaching out to this individual because he got this lead from one of our cold callers saying, hey, call him. It sounds like there's a maybe, like he could be interested in selling his home. And now we're going to get right to the phone call.
Hello?
Hey, is this Kelly?
Yes.
Kelly, hey, this is Selver. I think you were talking to one of my partners about your property in Nephi. You were texting one of them?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Do you have a quick second to chat?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, I just figured a phone call would be quicker and easier just to kind of see what kind of house we're dealing with here and see if we're going to be able to help you out or not.
Well, I don't need help. I'm not behind on my house payments at all. I just had some medical bills.
All right, now, as you can tell, it's starting to like heat up, right? It's a bankruptcy list. And this guy's like, he's frustrated. He's like, yeah, somehow you got a hold of me. Like, you're getting a hold of me because I'm on this bankruptcy list. And the conversation's starting to heat up. He's like, help, I don't need any help, right? This is a point where it's that gut check moment. We start to like buckle down. We're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have called him. Or, oh, what do I do? What do I say? So I want you to understand, this is normal. This is a natural call. This is how many calls are going to go. And instead of simply hanging up or giving up, watch how cool this is, what Selver does to kind of diffuse the situation and bring him back down like, hey, we're here. We're on the same side. I'm trying to help you. Listen what Selver uses and jot down some of these things in a notebook so you can start to replicate what Selver's doing.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying you're behind or anything, but are you not looking to sell the property?
Help me out.
Well, if you're looking to sell,
Market, brother.
or if you're looking to sell and I'm looking to buy, I'm kind of your customer here, right? Would you not want to listen to?
Well, sure.
Okay, so you want to tell me a little bit about the house?
I can tell you anything you want to know. It's on 0.36 acres. It's 5-bedroom, 3-bath, finished up and down. By me. My dad's a contractor. I did it for years, and so I know it's done right. It's completely square. Everything's good. Tile throughout. Tile and carpet. Oak cabinets. The only thing, if I was gonna sell it today myself, I would probably look at replacing the countertops. Other than that, it needs grass in the back. It's had grass in the past, so it's level. I just had some health issues for a couple of years and wasn't able to keep it maintained.
Okay.
So just got to get the sprinklers either replaced and or fixed. I haven't done it because my plan has been to add an outside entrance to the basement so I can rent that, because it's got 2 bedrooms downstairs and a bathroom, and then it's got a great big TV room, and a kitchenette, and a big game room. The game room's big enough that I had a pool table, a foosball table, an air hockey table, a full-size arcade, and a game table all set up. And
oh, wow.
To play.
Wow.
So it's big.
Probably a huge open space right there then.
Yes.
So you already put a kitchenette down there,
Yeah.
but you haven't been renting it out?
What?
You haven't been renting it out to anyone?
No.
How long? So did you and your dad build the house, or you're just saying you guys kind of finished the basement?
Yeah. Yep, I built it.
Oh, you built it.
I did it all. I did it all except for the rough plumbing, the sheetrock. Let me think. That's about all. I think we did all the rest.
Wow.
The sheetrock, I could pay and have it done a lot quicker than I could have done it myself because it's vaulted and all that.
Sure. Did you guys build a lot of houses, like kind of what the business you're in?
My dad did it for years. He's 81 now, and him and his brother had a company that did residential and commercial for years.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a custom built home.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's well built, really good and well. Like, I mean, you imagine some of the houses we buy, they're not. I'm surprised they got through city and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, let's be real. Your company sees people in financial problems and tries to get the house as low as you can and flip it and make some money. I get that. I've done it myself.
Yeah, that's typically, like I would say, it's a lot of our buys are, people that either need a certain timeline, or, as is, like you mentioned, or the stress, or whether they inherit a house and don't want to fix it up to get it to full retail. We're able to help those out. But we buy quite a few as well that people are just, price is just not their most important thing. It's their second or third thing, right? It's moving for a job, and the house may not need a lot of work, but they don't have the time, or they, don't want to show it and pay a realtor and those kind of things. But yeah, obviously we can't offer you full market value because we are investors, like you said. We have to make a profit for it to make sense.
Okay, so at this point, gosh, you don't know what to think. You're like, man, what is this? Is this motivated? Is it not? I want you guys in fact, in the comments, already start calming down. Like, put your comments down there. Like, do you think this? Is this lead motivated or is it not motivated? I'd love to hear what you guys think at this point. But at this moment, really the big thing is Selver's starting to set the stage that we're not going to be a retail buyer. And he says it in such a great way, right? He starts setting the point, like setting the stage that, hey, we're not retail buyer, we've got to make money. He's starting to set the tone that we're investors. We're not retail buyers. We've got to make money. But the reason why you do this is because you want to know up front if this is going to stop you from doing business. This is something in a way of not like, oh, sorry, we're going to have to, you want like in the upper 400,000 range or mid $400,000 range, you want a price point of this. Well, we're going to be more like 250. If you do that, it's going to be like, hang up. You've got to maintain this relationship, maintain this phone call. And so Selver just simply shows what he's typical, like, yeah, typically we do this. Like, people usually reach out to us because maybe their home's in a bad condition. He's starting to mention all these little things so that the guy is already starting to understand what is it that we have to do or how we can best serve you, that it's not retail price. We got to make money. And so listen to Selver is doing this. I think this is crucial.
Probably not interested then because this would easily bring more than full market value because it's custom built. And it's the seller's market right now. It's not like I'm desperate and have to go buy something else.
This is probably a not motivated lead at all at this point.
Apartment that I'm
going to challenge him, asking why he didn't sell it. Why is it? So are you planning to like put it on the market here soon? Or are you going to wait to do the separate entrance, or what's your plan with that?
So my whole team is trained to ask the crucial questions. The ones that we're afraid to ask, those are the ones that you must ask. So if you're thinking like, oh man, I don't really like to bring up like, have you thought about or have you considered listing this with a real estate agent? That's a crucial question. That's a great question to ask. And most people won't, because you think, if I ask this question, I'm now gonna like intrigue them to now go out and get a realtor to list their home. That's not the case, guys. That's how you actually reveal and uncover motivation, is asking those crucial conversations or those crucial questions, asking the tough ones. Have you had any other offers on this? Have you had any cash offers? Have you thought about listing this with a realtor? If you ask these tough questions, you know where they're at within the situation. You know where they're at in the selling process. You start to see and understand. You may find out from asking that question like, I hate realtors, no way. Well, that's a good sign for us, right? We're not realtors, we're just investors. So now one of the options of selling your home is out the door because they hate realtors. That's a good sign, but most people don't dare to ask those questions. Selver does an incredible job just asking the right questions and some of those crucial questions, those tough questions, so that it starts to help him understand, is there motivation here?
It just depends if I'm divorced, and so I live in this 5-bedroom house by myself, which is ridiculous.
That's a lot of space.
They're looking to rent the bottom,
Yeah.
and or because we're on a cul-de-sac, it's on a 2-block long dead-end cul-de-sac, and I actually own a piece of property across the street that's not quite big enough to be a decent building lot, but we own the frontage on the one side. We own all the frontage in front of me, and then this little building lot kind of up in a corner.
Yeah.
So what our plan is to sell the frontage, so the guy that owns the property across the street can put houses there facing mine, and if he, because he can't put them with us on a 10-foot of frontage.
Right.
The cul-de-sac's like 2/3 done.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't go all the way around, and so that's why we own that frontage. Nonetheless, so we want to trade the frontage to him for the full 2 blocks of his property, or a block and a half of his property, for 20 more feet in width, or make the property out across the street a building lot.
I see. That makes sense. Well,
So,
good.
it just kind of pissed me off that I got on that list. I got a lot of medical bills. I had to take some disability because of my health. I've had health problems, diabetes, and broke my hip and got septic and all kinds of things. And so
Oh, geez.
I didn't have health insurance at the time. And so these medical bills are just, I can't do it. So I've checked into bankruptcy. I haven't even filed. It's not even a complete filing yet because I'm still trying to work with the creditors. And so my name and my house gets on this list of, because there's somebody's threatening to do some damn sale. So I've had year one of probably 6 companies that contacted me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're probably getting people
postcards.
bombard you with phone calls and texts, I bet.
Well, there's only been 2 people calling. You and one other person called, but I get these cards in the mail that anybody can look at, and so it's embarrassing because, good heck. Oh, well.
At this point, guys, me and Selver actually have talked since then, and we've gone over this. At this point, some of the things that I would have done different, and now Selver listening to the phone call would have done different. At this point, I would have asked some more of those crucial questions. I would have asked some more of those tough questions, those gut check moment questions. I would have been asking him, like, what are your other options? What do you plan to do to sell this? Because he's starting to get to the point where we may not be a fit. And so I'd call it out. Where are you at? Where are you at in the selling process? How do you plan to sell this? What's your options here? Start asking these crucial questions so they start to reveal what's all going on in this whole process. And little by little, you'll start to see that if you'll ask the right questions, the truth starts to come out. Usually the first thing they say or the first excuse they have or the first reason or the first justification is not the reason why they're selling. Usually it's like the 3rd or 4th or 5th thing that they talk about that begins to be the truth of why they're actually selling the home. So you gotta get past those first few spit outs oh, I'm leaving because I want to get closer with my family, or I'm leaving because I've got some bad health and I don't need 5-bedroom 2-bathroom house. I don't need that much space. That's just a byproduct of what's the reality. They're going to be gone out of their 5-bedroom 2-bathroom because something else is actually really happening. It's not the health. It could be that all this stuff stacked up, behind on mortgage, behind on taxes, going through divorce. There's all these things stacking up that the truth starts to come out when you ask these crucial questions.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, it sounds like you have a wonderful place and a property, and you either have a lot going for you with the lots across the street, or staying there and keeping a rental. I mean, you're probably right. We're not everyone's best option, right? And doesn't seem like.
The lots across the street I don't own. My dad owns those.
Oh, gotcha.
So anyway, when I say we or me or whatever, I'm just referring to us as family. But nonetheless, I get it that you're, what you do. What you did do is you lit a fire under me, and so I looked at the comparables around here. You know, my buddies are in real estate, and so I looked at the MLS and seen what things were comparable, and so
what they're going for.
I think I could easily get 425 out of this the way it sits. And if I get that lawn all done in the spring and get the basement entrance in, I'm just waiting for my buddy's excavator. He's got it up in Springville. When he gets it back down here, then I'll get my basement dug, because that's only going to cost me about $5,500 to put that entrance in.
Right.
So.
I mean, would you even? I mean, I guess I know you look at comparables, but so are you saying if you got an offer at 425, you would sell the house, or would you still kind of like you're more like, no, I still want to finish the basement and get more for the house if I can do that for such cheap. I meant the separate entrance. Sorry, I meant the separate entrance.
Oh yeah. The tax people, they don't even know I finished the basement. It's been finished for 9 years or something, but I'm not going to tell them.
Sure, yeah. No need to pay them permits or whatever.
Well, it's permit. I wouldn't have to pay permits. I'd have to pay more taxes.
That too, yeah.
They only think it's 3 bedrooms.
Right.
Anyway, so that's, I don't know. Oh, you mean would I have to negotiate more if you offered me 425?
No, yeah. What I'm asking is, I mean, obviously with a cash offer compared to a retail route where you could go list it and you get 425, you obviously
How
not.
long of an escrow are you talking with the cash offer?
I mean, we can close within a week if everything comes good with the title company.
Yeah, I'd take it. I wouldn't have to negotiate more.
Well, what I'm saying at 425, if you're going to get that on the market, you have to have the real estate commission, closing costs, and title fees. What we're offering is if it was just cash and there's no realtor fees, no closing costs, we covered all that. Like, where would you be able to come down to off the 425 if you didn't have to pay all those things? Sure.
Now, knowing that you guys are cash and I don't have to pay the realtor fees and all that other stuff, I could probably come down, 415 or maybe even 410.
Okay.
So at this moment, the seller, we cut out a couple minutes of this phone call, because during this time, he goes into like why his home's better than everyone else, why he's going to get more than retail, and why everything is in perfect condition. It's the better layout, it's the better plan, it's the bigger square footage, and why it will sell for more than his neighbor who just sold a couple months ago. And so we cut all that out so we could keep this going, but ultimately, he wants retail price. And so Selver, he gets to go to a point where he can ask one of those. I love this question. In fact, it's on our script. We'll leave a link down below so that you can get access to the script. Because if you can ask this question, this is something that's going to help people. You'll start to see some of the motivation by just asking this one question, and it's this. I call it the sandwich question, right? You're going to sandwich what you're able to offer them, what they have to give you, and more of what you're going to offer them. So like think of like 2 pieces of bread and the meat. You're going to give them something, they're going to give you something, but then you're going to give them something again, right? And here's what it looks like. And you say your part slow. So you'd say the part that you're going to give them slow so they understand you're going to be giving them. And we give them 2 things up front and 2 things on the end. And it's this. If I could close quickly and pay all cash, that's the front end, then you kind of speed it up what they're going to give you. What would be the best price you would consider, right? That's the one thing they're giving in return. Now let's end it with the other part of the sandwich. If I paid all the closing cost and if there would be no real estate commissions to be paid. And just sit there. Now remind you, this guy was at $425,000. But here's the best part. By asking this sandwich question, and Selver did it just a little bit different, talking about it, but you'll see the whole point behind that question. He was able to drop it $10,000 to $15,000 by just asking that one question. Now, that's still not enough for us because retail's right around $425,000. That's just not enough for us to do anything with this deal, but it's absolutely incredible. If you'll just use this question, you'll see individuals drop $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $50,000, $60,000. They don't know you from Adam, but you ask this question and you do it the right way, and you'll see people start to drop their price.
Okay, well,
The best thing about Nephi too is it's growing. I mean, it's the worst thing in my mind, but as far as a property owner, it's growing like mad.
Right. Yeah, people keep moving down there. They keep building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
First it was Santa Quinn, and now Mona, and then Mona, and now Nephi's starting to see it.
Right. Okay. Well, Kelly, I'll go back to the drawing board and kind of look at this with my partners and see. Like I said, we have a tough time kind of paying retail unless we can see something out of it. But I'm willing to look at this and see. I mean, how soon would you be looking to like move and all that? Like, how much time would you realistically need
To move?
Yeah.
Oh, we own storage units, so I
there you
wouldn't
go.
need much time.
Perfect. So it could be a smooth transition. Okay.
Well, I got a tough shed in the back, a custom-built tough shed. It's I can't remember how big, but decent size.
Okay.
I just bought an share of irrigation water, and that's extremely hard to get anymore.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time answering the phone call, and again, sorry if I disrupted what you were doing, and I appreciate your time. And I'm gonna look at this with my partners and just see. I'll pull my own comparables and stuff. And like I said, if we're interested, we'd like to maybe set an appointment to come out and take a look at the property and kind of see everything you were talking about and go from there.
Now, guys, as you can tell this really isn't going anywhere. It hasn't been that great of a lead. In fact, Selver's now said in this, like, it's just not that motivating, right? Push the mute button and says, it's just not that motivating. It still hasn't progressed to anything motivating, but here's the key thing. Selver never says, like, sorry, we're not interested. Sorry, this won't work for us. We're going to have to move on to something else. He never goes that route. What Selver does is he keeps the dialogue open, and he says some crucial things and says some things like, hey, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, right? I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to talk to my business partner. We're going to see how this works out. And if we're interested, we'll come out and take a look at the property and see if it all pans out the way you're saying. When he says that, you start to hear the seller. In fact, I want you to listen to that right now. Watch what happens to the seller when you say, like, we're going to come out and look at it. At this point, the seller starts to divulge some of the bad stuff that still needs to be fixed up. He starts to point out the flaws in the house. Listen to this point right here.
Yeah, see, so like right now, it's 20-year-old house now, and my boys lived in it when I was married. My second time, I lived up in Draper, and so my boys lived here, and they were not maintainers. So I've got all the dings and all the nail holes and stuff in the walls fixed and retextured, and just got to prime and paint again inside. I've already got the paint bought, just got to get it done.
Awesome.
So, and I got a piece of carpet I'm replacing the.
He keeps telling us about how good his house is.
Home teacher room, I call it. The upstairs living room, I've got carpet, a roll of carpet sitting in my hallway that I just got to replace it. So, not much to do.
Right. Seems like just finishing touches.
Okay, guys, so the beautiful thing, we know it's not that motivating, but you got to keep your options open. Selver does a great job of that. We call this the Abraham Lincoln play. Why? Abraham Lincoln, when he was running for president, his whole philosophy was, if I can be everyone's second best option, I will win the presidential election. Now, this is crucial stuff to understand because he already knew in many people's eyes he was their first option. So he's like, great, I've already got their vote. But if I can be everyone else's second best option, the good news about this, guys, and the brilliancy behind this play that Abraham Lincoln did is if his candidate or his competitor ever messes up, guess who's in second place? And so any little mistakes they made, they all thought, man, I'm going to switch over to Abraham Lincoln. Now, Abraham Lincoln happened to win off that philosophy. Finding out the people that he already was the first best, and then for everyone else, it's got to be their second best option. So when this person messes up, I'm going to be the one they choose. And he won. That's what you've got to do. You got to keep your options open. So even though this is not motivating right now, remember, we're in the business of change. And change is taking place with COVID-19. You've got so much stuff going on that's making change happen in the market. And I want you to always remember, we are in the business of change. Right now, it may not be that motivating, but things can change next week. Things can change a month down the road. Things can change 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road. So it's crucial to keep it open and always have the Abraham Lincoln play working for you, meaning I've got to be everyone's second best option. So if his first best option is list it with a realtor, great. But if that doesn't work out, I need to be that second best option. So keep your options open. Don't close the door. Don't close the conversation saying this is not going to work. Just leave it open. Awesome. You know what? And Silver does a great job on this, and I'll put it back to him where he kind of ends this. And then ultimately what you're going to want to listen to is the recap on what Silver thinks of this lead.
Yeah, just kind of trying to clean it up.
Great.
Other than that, I don't think I got a lot to do besides the yard. That's the first thing. I've got good grass on the fronts and the sides, but my flower beds, I didn't plant anything. And so just a little bit of outside work.
Right. Well, great. Again, I appreciate it. I hope you stay healthy, and we'll be in touch. You have my cell phone. This is my direct cell, so if you need anything or anything comes up, you feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You betcha.
Take care. Bye.
All right.
So most people would probably agree that's not motivated, right? He has friends that are realtors. He has no real driver. He's not behind on house payments. He wants top dollar. That's just not a typical purchase that a wholesaler can make money on that, right? Maybe if you're in the area, maybe go check it out. Just see if there's a driver there. Probably what you do is maybe create a relationship where if things do get worse, you're a slow drip campaign of following up once every 3 months, 4 months. Does he sell it? And maybe he does find a time where he has to sell for a discount, but he essentially sold me out of the house, right? Telling me what he wants, all those kind of things. There's not much value we can provide for him, right? That's that.
All right, guys, I hope this video has allowed you to get confidence, but get comfortable with what reality is. If you haven't made those calls yet, this is a great case study of what you can expect. Not everyone, in fact, majority of the people you talk to are not going to be motivated sellers. That's okay. It's okay. Keep those conversations open. Keep the dialogue open. Be the second best option. Not every lead is going to be there, but there's so many ways this call could have gone wrong. But my team, we train every single week in our deal closing mastery meeting that we train on this every single day to keep dialogue open. Don't get mad. Don't close doors because we're in the business of change and there's a lot of change taking place. So hope you got a ton out of this. Now in the show notes, we're going to put links to that free script so you can get it. I also have a free training that goes a little bit deeper on this whole wholesale process. So you can start the process from beginning to end, see how the whole big picture is. And if you like access to that, just simply click on the link to if you want the free script down below, as well as if you want a quick access to that free training, you can click on that link down below. But again, while you're here, guys, don't forget to leave your comments. If you have questions about comments of what could he have done better, or questions about, hey, what about if a seller does this? If you have just questions in general about phone conversations on how to help you guys move forward so that you can get out of your way and start dialing people, start having conversations so you can start getting out of your own way and getting your first deal, then just put those comments down below. I love the comments. I read these all the time and I answer them personally. It's not something I pawn off. I do this because I love it. And if there's a way I can help you, I'd be glad to do so. While you're here, also hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so it alerts you when we put fresh new content out, and then I will see each one of you guys on our next video.